Welcome to Up on the Roof. I've got Nigel Morris from Solar Analytics. Hello, Nigel. How are you?
Hello, Ria. I'm good, thank you. I'm locked down. I'm in Sydney. It's cold, but can't complain. Compared to a lot of people, I'm just fine. Thanks for letting me come on the show.
Anytime. We've been in lockdown for 5 months, so I think you've got a bit to catch up on.
You're right. I can't complain.
No, I feel for you. It's been a bit tragic. All the cancellations of all the events. It's been very difficult for a lot of event holders.
It has. Yeah, we were supposed to be at a show. Last week, Next Energy, that was supposed to be on. We had we'd ordered a brand new booth. All the plans are in place. So yeah, it's really frustrating, and frankly, I'm missing all my friends. I'm
Yes.
inside solar and outside solar. So that's sad, but we've just got to remind ourselves that it won't go on forever.
Yeah, and we've rescheduled for November, so hopefully we'll all come out of it, and summer will be a good summer.
That's right.
Tell me a little bit about these podcasts. I've been seeing the new podcasts popping up. So tell me a little bit about yourself and how those podcasts are helping you and helping others, and how we should tune in.
Sure. So Spotify is the easiest way, but they're only on any podcasting app. There's two that I do. One has been going now for almost 3 years, which I do with Giles Parkinson from Renewable Economy. That's called Solar Insiders. That's a sort of generic catch up. We talk about anything and everything related to solar, and I managed to slip in something about electric motorcycles in each episode as well. Someone actually described it to me the other day as he said, I really like your podcast. It's comforting. It's like sinking back into an old armchair, putting your slippers on, and just having a quiet whiskey with an old friend. And that's kind of what we aim for. Giles and I are good mates, and we don't take ourselves too seriously, but we try and touch on lots and lots of issues every week that hopefully keep everyone up to date. And so that's really, really good fun.
Yeah, I find them interesting because I don't have a lot of time. So when I'm driving to work, I can listen to them, tune in, catch up on what's been happening, and actually, really learn something. So I like that about them.
Yeah, we try to keep it short because we had a lot of feedback from people saying, we were on the way to a solar job last week with the crew in the truck, and we threw an episode of Solar Insiders on, or we were doing an install on a roof. We knew we were going to be up there for 6 hours, so we played a bunch of episodes back to back. Or the best one I heard was a family that went on holiday. Dad was from the solar industry, and he said, I needed to get the kids to sleep, so I put on back-to-back Solar Insiders and knocked them out. So
left the whiskey out of it.
All sorts of benefits.
And what's the other one that you do?
Yeah, the other one I just started a few months ago, actually, called Great Solar Business, and the idea there was to leverage actually off something that we learned from Solar Insiders during a bunch of episodes. I'd done little interviews with business owners, which were just 5 or 10 questions, really 5-minute interviews, and it was amazing to me when I asked those questions what people would reveal about the challenges, the things they'd learned, who they admired, all those kinds of things. And I thought, oh, geez, everyone told me they loved it. And so I thought there's a series in this. And so I convinced the boss and Giles to let me start up another series, and that's Great Solar Business. And so every week I do a one-on-one interview with a business owner or someone influential from the industry, someone who's got a story to tell. And the idea is that at the end of every episode, if you're in the solar industry, you will have learned something. There will be something you can take away from that episode. I was actually chatting to an old friend from the solar industry this morning. He said, I like Solar Insiders. It's fun. It's warm, it's comfortable. But he said, in terms of value, I'm getting a lot more out of Great Solar Business. I'm really busy and I want value the whole 30 minutes. Yeah. And he said, every episode you're giving me value, so I like it more. So that was nice feedback.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And any of those tips, I think, help installers and help business owners, and navigating these times at the moment, I think anything helps. So that's fantastic. And you mentioned the electric motorcycle. Tell me a little bit about that.
Your listeners are going to be.
Is that the Harley Davidson that was on your LinkedIn page the other day?
Yeah, it is. I was lucky, I'm mad about motorcycles, mad about electric motorcycles. I realised it was my 9th anniversary the other day of when I first got my first electric motorbike. So I've been at it for a while now and traded up a few times, but I was lucky enough to go to the launch of the electric Harley Davidson about 6 or 7 months ago, which was a wonderful experience. But of course, it was pretty limited what we could do and so forth. And I begged and pleaded and said, look, as soon as you got one that might be available for a longer term test, do let me know. And sure enough, just a few weeks ago, actually it's a couple of months ago now, we got a call and they said, right, we've got a bike that you can have for 2 weeks. And about 3 days after that, we went into lockdown and they said, well, you can't bring it back, so keep it for another 2 weeks. And then lockdown got extended and they contacted me again and said, well, you still can't bring it back, so keep it for another 3 weeks.
Did you
And then
just drive
lockdown
it
got
around the block?
well, I'm very lucky. I live on the northern beaches of Sydney, and I'm allowed to travel anywhere within my LGA at the
Right.
moment, my local government area, and I happen to live in a big local government area, and I happen to live in a local government area that's got national parks and winding roads and bush and some very, very scenic stuff, and of course all the beaches. So I've done a lap of almost every street in the LGA. It's true to say. In fact, in some cases, like I did, I actually ducked out at lunchtime just for a little ride. I've been shooting some GoPro footage, and there's a really nice little windy road near me, and I just went up and down it 50 times.
Yeah, that's great.
That was my fun for lunch. So yeah, I love the whole thing. But what actually really excites me is that it's technology that is just starting to become real. The bikes are amazing. They're on the verge of being affordable. The power is virtually equal a very, very high performance motorcycle now, and they're just getting better and better and better. So for me, as much as anything, it's what really excites me is being involved in this tech that hasn't quite landed. So
the innovation of it all.
Exactly.
Yeah. I wonder what they're going to do next. It could be. It's going to be interesting to see the next 10 years.
It is, and I'll tell you. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'll put a carton of beer or wine or whatever it is you drink, Ria. But within the next 10 years, we will be using them as batteries on wheels. They will be integrated with the homes. The Harley down in my shed has a battery that's bigger than a Powerwall.
Yeah.
And perfectly adequate to satisfy the needs of an average home in just the same way that a Powerwall would, for example. And I much as I'd love to ride it every day, I don't get to ride it every day. So it's sitting there, it's soaking up my solar as it is. And in this 3-month dream period that I've had it during lockdown.
Going to come to an end sooner or later?
Nah. I've got a plan B, don't worry.
You'll just have to buy one.
Well, it's funny. Yeah, well, fingers crossed.
Oh, well, that's great. No, it's good to hear anyway. And it's good to see that you're keeping busy as well when you're getting out of lockdown. I think keeping busy is a healthy thing when you're in lockdown. So definitely get out for those lunchtime kilometres and get those Ks up.
It's really important. Actually, I talk to a lot of my peers and friends about, how to manage the mental strain of being on your own, and it's very easy to get up early and rock into your desk and sit at your desk, and before you know it, it's 7 p.m. The kids are hungry and a day's evaporated and you haven't got off your chair. Building some discipline around, some exercise, getting out of the house, getting some fresh air, doing something that stimulates your brain cells and wakes you up and reminds you that life is not a tragic pandemic.
No, that's true.
It's a good. Yeah, there's pluses.
There is, yeah. And there's always benefits. I find that, working from home or working in the office, there's benefits from both. You just have to roll with it and keep positive and maintain discipline. For sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's it. And I'm very lucky working for a software company. We moved out of the office in February last year, and most of us have now very well set up. We've found new ways to work with our teams. We all miss each other terribly, and we were starting to go back to the office regularly so that we could build those personal relationships back up again and enjoy each other's company. And I'm sure we'll get back there again. But
Yeah, no
yeah,
doubt.
like everyone, we've adapted our business to it.
Yeah, and this is why the podcasts and even these interviews are so fantastic, because we get to reach so many people. So you were saying something to me earlier, Solar Analytics, they're actually releasing something about the energy bills and trying to help the installers and solar retailers sell more solar and also communicate on a different platform about energy. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's right. It's actually the culmination of many years of work. It's sort of an evolution of what we've been trying to do. We're most well known for having a good monitoring solution. Late last year, we launched an integration where instead of pulling data from our own hardware, we were pulling it from other hardware, inverters, SunGrow and Fronius so far. That helps us lower the cost down and means that we can, easily attach ourselves to systems that are already installed, for example, without having to go back to site, which ironically in a pandemic, a lot of installers have been very excited about. But something that we always have to be doing is adding more value. So how do we make our service so valuable that consumers insist on it, and that installers and retail companies see huge value in it, and their salespeople get excited about it. The culmination of a couple of years of work is about to be launched in about a week and a half, and it's called Plan Optimizer. And the idea with Plan Optimizer is that what we will do is, in simple terms, we will be able to use the real data that we collect on someone's solar generation profile or their consumption profile. We have all that data. And normally when someone talks about switching you from one energy plan to another, they have no idea what your demand profile looks like. They can't tell you whether you'd be better off on time of use or flat or a demand tariff or something else. We have that data. So we have, 25, 35, 45,000 odd sites out there that we can instantaneously analyze. So that allows us to really, really accurately determine what is the best energy plan for that particular solar home. And the new product that we're launching. Yeah, customization. And it will do it automatically. It updates once a month, and it simply tells the customer, look, we've worked out how much you could save if you switched energy providers. Here's the best plan for you. And every month it'll update again. So it makes switching is a nightmare. I don't know if you've ever tried to switch. It's horrendous.
You can't get through to anybody these days. I can't even get through to Telstra.
You can't get through, and trying to actually compare, for a lot of people in Australia, they could have, if you look at all the providers that are available and every possible plan that they have, it's literally hundreds in some cases, literally hundreds. It's almost impossible to accurately analyze every single one of them and go, for my particular situation, is this one better or is that one better? People just give up. In fact, I was looking in the AER produced their latest state of the energy market report not long ago, and in there they highlighted that as few as 10% of people switch.
Wow, just because it's so onerous.
It's too hard. It's too hard. So we've automated that.
Perfect, brilliant. Where do I sign up?
I'll talk to you afterwards.
Yeah, I will. I've got a 10.2 or 10.5 kilowatt system on my roof. So maybe I should sign up and start looking at switching or keeping that, keeping the competitive energy bills.
That's it. And even if you don't actually do it, to know that the calculations are being done for you in the background for that, whenever you do actually get a big bill or you get bill shock or something prompts you, you then don't have to invest loads of time in it. You just go into the app, you have a look, it'll tell you what the best plan is. You can shop around a little bit if you want to, choose a provider that you particularly like, but it just makes it really easy, and it's just sitting there in the background for you.
Yeah, fantastic. Excellent. All right. Well, that's it for us today, but I might have you on in a couple of weeks, hopefully out of lockdown. And let's hear to summer, right? It's only 4 weeks away.
Oh my goodness.
Or spring, spring and then summer. But
anything but the middle, we're past the equinox. That's the important thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Thanks, Nigel.
Good to see you.